All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sideshow. My name is Mingo.
This is Tony.
Tony, something I wanted to clear up from, I believe it was last show. It may have been the show before, but I think it was last show. Your old lady said something about eating pigeon.
Yeah, we went out to dinner and my daughter had duck.
Duck.
And my wife tried it and said it tasted like pigeon. And that's because she's had pigeon before.
She had an actual pigeon?
I would assume so. I mean,
Or did she have a dove?
I'm going to say it was a pigeon because where she grew up was kind of, on a ranch out in the middle of nowhere. And she's told me some of the things that she's eaten.
Like what?
You know how you put the pig in the ground or a cow in the ground.
That's not weird.
It is when you're not used to stuff like that.
Okay. It's like okay.
3 pies and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Okay,
You start getting on the parts where no one else eats. That's a little weird. Yeah. And I asked because after we had that show, I went on and I was like, is there a difference between a dove and a pigeon? Because somebody hit me up and said that a pigeon and a dove were the same thing. And how they are a part of the same fowl family. Like they're both kind of the same. But it's not, like a pigeon's not something you hunt. Does that make sense? Like a pigeon's at the fucking park eating all your food. Like, that'd be like saying, oh yeah, I ate a fucking seagull this weekend.
But that doesn't make them different from each other. That's just how they interact. That's different. How they live is different. But they might still be the same bird.
They come from the same. They're the same, basically the same species.
Okay, then they are the same.
But they gotta taste different though because of what they eat. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And nobody's ever said, oh, fuck yeah, dude, I'm gonna go catch me, or I'm gonna go have a couple of pigeons. What? People eat dove. There's a dove hunting season. Usually starts the 21st of September.
Well, is it because in those areas there are no pigeons? There are only doves? Because if there were pigeons out there, would they be pigeon hunting?
I'm assuming. I mean, you would have to assume so because pigeons usually live like in the city.
Right.
Right?
Well, I'm not gonna say yeah, but that's where you usually see them.
I've never seen pigeons on a farm.
Right.
And nobody ever flips doves. Nobody ever uses a dove, a homing dove. Like, they're not mail carriers. That's a pigeon. But then again, maybe that's where that comes from, where like they don't kill pigeons because it could be carrying mail. Like, I don't.
Okay, let me ask you this: do you consider a lion a cat? Like when I say cat, what you have in your home? They're both felines, but they live completely different lives. It's the cat family.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because, and then a cat, like your domestic at-home cat, it'll still kill and eat other animals, so it's not like it's that domesticated, right? It can be, like if you have an indoor cat. But see, like you do this shit all the time though. Like you compare apples to oranges. Like you compare those little the little green limes to grapefruit. Like a cat to a fucking lion, a pigeon and a dove. They're within like ounces of each other. You're like fucking. Like the little white lizards that you see running around, and
I'm sorry, a cheetah and a female cheetah and a female lion. Okay, they almost look the same except for the spots.
No, they look totally different. They look totally different, dude. Because a cheetah's much faster than a lion.
Okay, so it's slimmer. It's sleek. It's
How about we just say I understand what you're saying? Because you're fucking. No. Jesus Christ. But
so you're trying to prove this listener wrong is what you're doing.
No, I was just trying to find out from you, was it really a pigeon or was it a dove? Although they're in the same family, so I guess it wouldn't taste much different. I just wanted to know, was it really a dove or was it really a pigeon?
I don't know. I'll try to find out for her from her.
Because like my cousins go dove hunting every year.
Here locally?
Yeah, they're down at the farms in Thermal or Mecca. They'll go out there and they'll come home with their lot of birds, however many you're supposed to, or your max. They max out every year.
And they eat them.
They eat them.
And you partake?
No, I've never had them. Never had one.
But you've had pigeon?
No. Never had that either. And I don't think I could eat a pigeon. Couldn't get past the fact that they're the gray birds with the purple and magenta feathers. Like, it'd be kind of weird.
Well, I mean, so could you eat a dove?
Yeah. Because we know that that's food that is hunted and that's supposed to be like eaten. Again, that's like saying, "Hey, clear the table. I'm coming over with the fucking what did I say earlier? What are the ones that are at the beach?"
At the beach?
Yeah, the birds at the beach. A seagull. Hey, clear the table. I'm gonna coming over with a fucking seagull, like just baked for everybody.
But when you say, like, let's just say there are certain people that eat dogs, and to us that's not normal,
right?
But in this country it is. So when you say I'd eat a dove but I won't eat a pigeon,
okay,
it's almost like,
have you ever heard of any people or community of people that eat pigeon? Namingly a pigeon, like the gray.
No, but I wasn't surprised when she told me either. I wasn't like, oh my God.
Well, pigeon. That's because she told you that she eats the fucking innards of pigs and cows and shit. And tongue and fucking the head meat and all that shit.
But even when I told you what she had said, it wasn't necessarily out of the realm. You were like, well, maybe she had dove instead. Maybe she meant dove. Because you weren't like, oh my God, pigeon, how is that possible? That's disgusting.
I think I was doing that in my head though. Well, quite honestly. Because I was trying not to be a dick, but because that's just a weird thing. Like, you always think of pigeons like pigeons are winged rats.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they're scavengers, and whatever you throw at them to get away from you, they'll eat it. That's why when you said that, I was like, really? But I mean, they are part of the same family, so I'm assuming that they can't taste that different. I just wanted to make sure that it was actual dove, and she just didn't say pigeon because that's what she could think of.
Okay. Her dad was ruthless, so I mean, it could be some pigeons.
What do you mean he was ruthless? Really?
Well, I mean, again, your upbringing. I'm not saying I don't know how his upbringing was, but I'm not gonna say it was like us. I'm assuming he grew up like on the ranch type deal, and they pretty much ate what they had to eat growing up as a boy. So I don't think eating a pigeon was out of the ordinary for them.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you grew up on a ranch, you're talking like cows and chickens and goats and pigs and
pigeons and
ain't nobody in a farm got no pigeons.
Out here, the farms in Thousand Palms,
ain't nobody got no pigeons.
How you know?
Because they're called something else. They're homing pigeons at that point. They're for work. They're mail carriers. They do the same job your wife does, for Christ's sake. She's a oh, what are they called?
What do you mean?
I can't even fucking think of it right now.
Mail carrier?
No, the people that eat other people. What are they called?
A cannibal?
Yeah, she a cannibal. She eating her own kind. She eating another mail carrier and shit. It's fucked up. Something that's coming out. They're not available yet, but once it does, I didn't catch the date. I think they said the 29th. I hope he doesn't get in trouble for me throwing it out there. But the coffee bean, the coffee company, the little coffee place. There's one on El Paseo in Palm Desert. They have this new drink coming out. It's called, I think it's the horchata, like an horchata coffee. Bro, that shit is bomb, dude. It is so good. I had the opportunity to try one today. Dog.
And as I said, I'm changing my ways to an extent, making the efforts.
Okay.
But I've never had horchata.
No?
No, I don't like it. But that was the old me.
No, it's not that you don't like it. You've just never had it.
I've had opportunities to take a sip at least.
Ain't
that like rice milk or some shit?
Yeah, it's just rice water.
Yeah, no.
All it is cloudy water with cinnamon.
Do you see have you ever cooked rice?
Yes.
You clean it first?
No. We never did. I never heard of that until I started watching it on TikTok.
Oh, so no wonder you drink horchata. Because it's the same looking water.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. That's dirty water.
You guys like your rice sticky?
Sticky?
Yeah. Because that's how they make sticky rice.
With what? They don't clean it?
No, they clean it.
My rice ain't sticky.
So why do you clean it then?
Because it's all the
starch.
You got to take all that off.
Why?
Because it ain't good for you. Starch ain't good for you, is it?
I don't know. I thought what made it stick was the starch. Is that what you're cleaning off of it?
I'm cleaning whatever's on it. And whatever comes off, because something definitely comes off. Right. That water's nasty. And that's horchata. And so what you're saying is that nastiness, you put some cinnamon sugar in it, and you got horchata?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Come on.
So it's the rice coffee or the horchata coffee? It's what they do is they mainly milk and just a little bit of coffee to give it a little tinge and plenty of cinnamon. That shit is fire, dude. That shit is.
What does rice water taste like? What does horchata taste like? Rice?
No, not really. It tastes like cloudy water with cinnamon. It's super sweet. They add a lot of sugar, so you can't really. And the cinnamon really takes away from the.
So does it taste like you're drinking a cinnamon roll?
Almost, yeah.
So is that what this coffee might taste like? Like cinnamon roll coffee?
Yes, but better.
Really?
Yeah. Or without the sweetness of the icing. But it's fairly sweet. It's good, dude. You should try it out.
Surprised it's never been thought of before.
There's a couple of places. There used to be this guy out in Coachella, but he didn't call it. He would just call it like cinnamon coffee. And you would go and he'd put this. And Mexicans have been putting cinnamon in coffee for a long time because they put it in their chocolate, their abuelita chocolate. That's got cinnamon in it.
The chocolate itself?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So everything, yeah. That's like their fucking. Everything's got fucking cinnamon. You know what I'm saying? That's like their staple. How has your service been with? Are you still on Spectrum?
No.
No. You used to have DirecTV, right?
Yes.
Who do you get your internet from now?
Frontier.
And how are they?
The service is very good. Oh, excuse me. The actual product service is good. It's fast, no issues.
Okay.
When it's working. And I'm not going to say it fails often, but there have been a few times when I've had problems. Now, the issue with that is that I take umbrage with is you can't call anybody. They do not talk to you on the phone. You got to chat. You got to leave a message. They will not talk to you on the phone.
Oh, that's dope.
What you mean?
I mean, for the company, that's smart.
Oh, dude. Well, yeah, for the company maybe.
Because you're probably talking to some AI. When you chatting.
Yeah, pretty much. You state your problem.
Do you state your problem, or does it give you a list of?
I don't remember.
Are any of these following?
Let me put it this way: if it failed 3 times in the maybe year and a half I've had it, called twice, didn't bother to call it 3rd time because I'm not going to
wait it out.
Yeah, you're not getting anywhere with them at all.
So when it's out, how long is it out for?
There have been times when it was out in the morning, and when I got home, it was back on. So I don't know.
More than an hour, though, at least.
I think Spectrum used to send you a text if there was an outage, if I remember right. And then when it was restored, they'd send you a text and say it was restored.
So the other day, I was having trouble. I was watching TV and it kept kicking me out.
First of all, who do you have?
Because I have Spectrum.
Okay.
And because I don't have cable services, I stream everything online, right?
Right.
And so, the only service I have is through Spectrum, and it's the fucking internet. So I looked at my phone, and it still showed bars, it says I have fucking, what do you call it?
Yeah, you can't do that.
So I clicked on the TV, and I was like, the TV says there are no bars. So I tried to run the test on my phone. It didn't show that it was pinging up or down. It's all right. So then I was getting ready to, I don't remember what I was going to do, turn it off or turn it back on or whatever. And then I got the text from Spectrum. Hey, internet service is out, or service is out. We've discovered where the problem is. Crews are working on it.
See, that's great.
Should be about an hour and change. I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do now?
I've been there, done that.
Cause well, fuck. And okay. So everything, the stuff that I had was all Wi-Fi connected. Speaker, everything. I couldn't cast music to that because and I find, I have one that's Bluetooth. So I connected, I listened to music for an hour, putting shit away. I got a lot of shit done. I was like, shit. And then about 45 minutes in, I got another text. Hey, it's problem's a little bit deeper than what we thought. Going to be about another hour and a half. We'll let you know once it's fixed. I'm like, shit. So here I am, dude. I'm about 3 hours in. I got laundry folded and put away. I was just about ready to start filling up water to do some mopping. What else did I got a bunch of other shit done. I did the dishes. I did all kinds of shit. And I was like, all of a sudden I got the other text. Hey, it's back on. And instantly, bro, without even thinking, turn around and turn the TV on. And I thought to myself, I said, maybe I should just get rid of all the other services and just not. But then again, if I do that, then why have the TVs?
You mean get rid of all your streaming services?
Yeah.
To accomplish what?
So that I won't turn on the TV as much. Because then I'll just have the UHF channels. You know what I mean? But then I'm gonna have to go buy DVD players, and I'm gonna have to, fuck. So I don't know, dude. But I got a lot of shit done without that on. But you're right, dude. That is really, really good service. Like, hey, dude, you don't need to call fuckers. We already know.
Yeah.
We got an issue. We're taking care of it. It should be this long.
One of the things that I found is they've said once a month to reboot your box.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense because I think twice, like the last time it happened, I probably did that on my own just because from remembering that's what happened last time and it worked.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, you know you're supposed to do that with your phone, right? Like,
yeah, turn it off every once in a while.
Yeah, turn it off and turn it back on. Leave it off for a couple of minutes before you turn it back on. They tell you to count to like 120, so like 2 minutes, and then turn it back on. Try to reconnect after 2 minutes. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
The one thing that happened to my wife was off yesterday. When I got home from work, she said she tried to watch something on Netflix and it didn't work. She said something's going on with the internet. So I was like, no, it's user error because, you know, she's not very technical.
Wow.
And so I said, let me see. And I grabbed the remote and I'm like, let me see. And sure enough, you know, because, you know, what she does is she tries it and it says something, so she doesn't bother trying doing anything else. So I tried it. It did say can't connect. So I went to a different app, let's say Max or Amazon, and sure enough, they were also saying the same thing. So when you said I looked at my phone and I got bars, Wi-Fi bars, the reason I say you can't do that is because, don't ask me why, but when your internet is out, you still got bars on your phone. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Well, because you're connected both through your phone and through Wi-Fi, although they're two different signals. So maybe I looked at it, and instead of it being the
no, yeah, it's the curved.
Yeah.
You'll still have those if your internet is out for whatever reason. I don't know, because it happened to me. Because a couple times, even with Spectrum, I was like, "Look, my phone says I got bars," and they're like, "No, can you pull up like a laptop or a computer?" And sure enough, you do that, and there's nothing there. And then they want you to get a what's the cord for it? Not HDMI.
The Cat 5 cable?
Well, it is a Cat 5 cable. There's a specific name for it. To hook up for internet, straight to your Ethernet. They said grab an Ethernet cable, plug it into your computer, and plug it into the modem to confirm that there is actually nothing coming in from the modem, which is a drag because I don't know how yours is set up, but mine is set up in a closet up on a top shelf.
Yeah.
It's crazy to do all that for me.
Yeah, mine's set up in my bedroom in the closet up on the top, and I'm just like, fuck, man, I don't want to get up there and do all that bullshit.
Can't I just reach up there and turn it off for a couple of minutes and turn it back on?
Fuck.
But here's the thing. So I still have a landline with Frontier.
Okay.
So I go, this is the process I have to go through. I see that the internet's not working. Now I go to the phone, turn it on, or is that what we call it now?
I guess.
What do we usually call it? Picking up the phone to check to see if there's a dial tone.
Yeah, you pick up the receiver.
Okay, but I turn it on because obviously it's a cordless phone.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess I turn it on, and I have the dial tone. Okay, so now my TV's saying there's no internet, but I do have a dial tone, so I know a signal is coming in. Because they would both be out if there was no signal coming in.
But they're two different signals.
Same provider though, same box. It's still coming in to the modem. There's a light for Wi-Fi and there's a light for telephone. So if I don't have telephone, I know that I have an issue with the incoming service.
Okay.
So I had a dial tone. So now what? So I'm about ready to start a chat, and I walk into my office where the modem is, and sure enough, everything's green. So the next thing I have to check is my pool equipment is hooked up through Wi-Fi.
Jesus.
So I do that, and I can sign right onto my pool equipment. So I'm good. So now I know I have Wi-Fi, because if that's very finicky. If there's no Wi-Fi, I'm not connecting to my pool equipment. So I was able to do that. So what's next? I got a dial tone. I have Wi-Fi, but my TV's not hooked up. My TV's not accepting the internet. So what do? Turn the TV off, wait a couple of minutes, turn it back on, and I got internet again. Go figure.
Wow.
And the unfortunate part is, like you were saying, we're so reliant on it now.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like you can't do anything without the internet now. Or Wi-Fi, I should say.
Yeah, you got to stop and think. Like, fuck, what can I do without it?
You can't do anything without it anymore. You can start getting mad.
Yeah. Because you're like, okay, well, I could do shit on my phone, but it's kind of spotty and fuck.
Plus, now, again, my TV now is old. So I'm thinking maybe that has something to do with it.
Well, I know that, like, the TV in my room, it's kind of, it's an older Vizio. And I have a Fire Stick connected to it. But right now, like, when I go to it, like, if I turn it on and I try to use Hulu, it'll go on and it'll play, like, the first couple seconds of the episode, and then it kicks me out. Back to Prime. Like, what's the problem? We got a problem here?
That happens to me, too.
Have you figured out what the problem is?
No. Shit. And one thing that I hate is, you're so spoiled with DirecTV or Spectrum, for that matter, that you turn on the TV and you can automatically do things.
Right.
I turn on the TV and, like, I got to push the home button for the screen to pop up with all the apps that I want to go to, which includes live TV, which is the antenna. But the problem is it takes like 30 seconds for the, I'm shooting the arrow to go left and right, but nothing's moving. It's almost like the TV has to warm up even though it's on.
Oh, it has to boot, yeah, like a computer.
Yeah. So that's that.
And the more shit you got on it, the longer it takes to boot.
And then you pick something, and then you're waiting for that wheel. And then, I don't know about you, I don't know about anybody else, on my account, which it doesn't matter anymore because everybody's starting to no more sharing of stuff, because I think it was Hulu just recently said they're going to crack down on, just like Netflix. Either Hulu or Peacock sent me emails saying we're going to be shutting that down. So be ready, everyone. Anyways, all my accounts have multiple users, which is myself, my wife, and my kids. So there's 3 users.
Right.
So every time I click on one of the apps, it's asking me who's watching. So it just seems that it's just taking me so much longer to get to something. And I know I'm being spoiled because my grandmother used to say when we were frustrated because it was taking us 2 minutes to warm something up in the microwave. She was like, "Do you have any idea how long it used to take us to warm stuff up in the oven?"
Right.
And you're complaining over 2 minutes?
I had to make sure I got some logs and split them and to start the fire.
And I'm complaining it's taking me 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes to finally be able to get something going?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you, though. I get it. Shit. Because I'm kind of, yeah. I don't know, dude. Well, I bring that up because, and just like you said about the accounts, I told Sebastian yesterday, or this morning when he woke up, he was like, "Yeah, I couldn't sleep last night." Why? What's wrong? So I'm stressing out. Stressing out about what? About my move? Man, you ain't moving for 2 more months. Why you stressing out now? Like, what's the worst that could happen? You go, you figure it out, it doesn't work out, you always come back. Not a big deal, dude. So
can we do a timeout?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think you've mentioned him moving on the podcast.
No?
No. I mean, it was always him state when he used to be on the show that he was going to move to L.A. with his buddies, San Diego. Well, so you might want to make an announcement now.
So, San Diego, L.A. They were gonna move together, and then something happened when somebody got flaky, and out of the three of them, and they didn't go. So then, one of them moved to Utah. One of the people he was gonna move with, and then she called and was like, "Well, the situation's changed. Blah 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 blah. Do you want to come to Utah?" And so he'll be moving to Utah in May. And so he fucking, I thought, oh, yeah, okay. Sure, you're going to move to Utah in May. Okay. This dude's he's sold guitars. He's sold Legos.
He sold a guitar?
Yep.
Wow.
He's only keeping, I think it's 3 or 4 of them that he's going to keep. I think he had a total of 8 of them. But he's only keeping like 3. So he sold a couple of those. He sold like this big old barrel of Legos that he had. He sold that. And he's putting all this money away. He paid off his car, so now he's saving all the car payments and everything, like living minimally, right? So then he's the one that yesterday hit me up and said, "Hey, Dad, a friend of mine told me about this coffee drink. They're not supposed to be selling it yet, but he said that he would make us one if we go today." All right, cool. So I got up with him, and we went this morning and got the horchata coffee. And then on the way home, he said, hey, Pop's pulling at Lowe's. Lowe's? What the hell do you need from Lowe's? I had to get some moving boxes and some moving tape. You what? He said, yeah, I need some moving boxes and moving tape. I said, why? 'Cause I'm moving. Yeah, but you're not moving until May, bro. Like, it's barely like the end of February. What are you doing? Why are you in such a hurry to pack up? What's going on with you? Oh, no, I'll just feel better if I start packing stuff up and putting things. So we went, pulled in, and he got a packing gun and some bubble wrap, and he got a bunch of boxes, and he's starting to pack shit up already.
So when in May is he actually moving?
I'm assuming the beginning of May, end of April, beginning of May. Because apparently, he's waiting to hear from her when she puts a deposit down. Then he'll send her the money for the deposit and to do the background or the credit check and all that. And then shortly after that, within a couple weeks of that, he's going to move. He's already talked to his uncle. Hey, can we borrow your... Because he doesn't have enough to rent like a U-Haul.
Okay.
He could probably get it all in one truck or maybe 2 trucks. And he called
Damn, how much stuff he got?
He just got that bedroom stuff. His bedroom. So like a chest.
Chest?
Well, not a chest.
Dresser?
Yeah, a dresser.
He needs to leave that here.
Why?
First of all, you probably paid for it.
Yeah, take it.
Take it. He needs to go over there, leave shit in boxes. He needs to rough it out for a little while. Appreciate a new dresser when he gets it.
Take the dresser, dude. I'm buying because I don't know what I'm doing with that room yet. I might make a knitting room. I don't know.
You know how you can find out exactly when he's leaving, though?
Huh.
You go to his room, and the calendar he's got on his wall, flip to like April, May, and whichever one is circled aggressively and like wrote freedom in the middle, that's the day he's leaving.
When it says bye ninja, bye ninja. Wow. Right? Freedom.
Does he know how long of a drive it is to get there?
12 and a half hours, I think. He said 12 and a half or 14 hours, something like that.
Damn.
Yeah. He's like moving up to the Canadian border, dog. Like, he's not like...
Really?
Yeah.
Does he know the weather? What's the hottest? What's the coldest?
I don't know, dude. I've asked him questions. I don't know. We were talking about it today, and I was like, well, he's got a bunch of jackets that my dad gave him before he passed away, and I was like, oh, I guess you'll finally get to use all the jackets that Grandpa got you. He said, yeah, I know. She was telling me that I'm going to buy a snow jacket when I get up there.
Damn.
I was like, damn, well, thankfully you moving in May, because shit, I don't know if I could do that colder weather. We'll have to go. That'd be a good test for me. And then he was talking about how far away from the border he was, or that he will be.
Is there an actual border, like a crossing, or just pretty much a line where that's Canada and this is U.S.?
No, I think it's like it is here. I think there's checkpoints that you have to go through. I don't think it's as aggressive as the southern border, but I'm sure that there's checkpoints that you have to go through to get to it, which is really weird.
Do you know if there's any major popular cities in Canada that he's next to?
He hasn't said, so I don't know. I can't remember the name of the city that he said that he was going to.
You know, like San Diego got Tijuana. You know, that type of deal.
He wouldn't go anyways. It's a Tijuana, like.
Well, I mean, something in Canada that might have something popping off.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to get away from the what's out there. Is it Quakers? Mormons. Yeah.
He said Quakers. That's fucking hilarious. Oh shit.
Next
well, he already got the Jedediah beard and shit, so he gonna fit right the fuck.
Yo, he could have one of them out there build him a dresser for on the cheap, kid. Shit. You know they be working with wood.
Yeah, they build that shit by hand.
Hell yeah.
This shit ain't cheap.
Dog, they still rolling in the buggies and stuff, kid. The horse-drawn buggies.
Yeah, that's why whatever they making, they just stacking that away. I bet you they're all fucking filthy rich, acting like they ain't got no electricity and shit.
What happens if he meets a girl out there that's Mormon, like legit, like skirt to the ankles?
As long as you don't come back wearing the magic underwear and all that bullshit, whatever, dude.
He come back with one of them Zorro hats and a full beard, no mustache.
Okay, so you're like mixing like 5 different religions and shit. You gonna come back with like the little Jerry curls down the side, dripping down the side.
They rock those hats. What are you talking about?
No, they don't. Mormons don't.
Are you sure?
Yes, the other people do. The ones that do Rumspringer. What are they? The ones that you're talking about.
The Quakers?
No, Amish.
Amish, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. There's no Amish over there?
No.
Where's the Amish then?
They're back east, aren't they?
No, those are Orthodox Jews back east.
The Amish.
No, Amish is Utah, kid.
No, Mormons are... Where do Amish live? Lancaster County, Pennsylvania is like the biggest. Ohio and Indiana. It has the highest population.
Okay, just type in, are there Amish in Utah?
All right.
He's going to have some homemade guitars.
You gonna have square banjos instead of round ones?
He gonna weigh twice as much because he need a lot of butter, freshly turned butter.
I ain't mad at him for that though. That's got to be fucking delicious. We don't have any Amish communities in Utah, but we do have some polygamists.
What?
Polygamists.
Really?
Yeah.
Ain't that where Mitt Romney's from?
I don't know. I don't really follow the religion.
Wow. How's he
You call me dad. I'm getting married again.
is he I mean, that's a big move for someone that's really never been out there in the world. Is he scared?
Yeah, I think he's starting to get a little nervous. And he's like, that's what he was talking about today. He's like, fuck, he says, I want to go, but I don't even know if I should be talking about this. Like, I don't want him to get upset. Like, I'm not trying to make fun or make light of it or anything, but it's eye-opening for me as well, I guess. That it's nerve-wracking because he's going to be gone and so far away from everything and everyone, all of his security blankets. It's him. And he's got to figure out how to make it work because I'm going to be so far away from everybody. Like, I have to make it work. Like, yeah, dude. I said, but you're in a perfect position to do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the perfect time for you to get out there and make the mistakes. You're just gonna have to minimize the mistakes that you make. Like, don't go out all crazy. I said, and you're gonna have to get there and set ground rules with it right away about bringing dudes home or bringing a girl home, like whatever it is that is gonna happen. You gotta set the tone right off the bat. You know what I mean? Like, because you guys are going in as friends, but that doesn't mean that one day you guys aren't at home drinking and all of a sudden your hands touch and you guys look at each other and next thing you know you're having relations in the living room and you guys go to your own rooms afterwards and the next day is going to be motherfucking awkward.
First of all, how do you have that kind of conversation?
Just like I did with you. Or you mean how do you have it with a girl?
Yeah, I mean, you're moving in with a friend, and you can't sit there and say, okay, let's lay down some ground rules. We are not to be romantically involved. And she going to be like, are you crazy?
No, I don't think you have that. I don't think you have that conversation.
Oh, okay.
I think you have the conversation of, hey, I don't, just we living together. Whatever you bring, you need to be able to keep them in check. Like, they got to be cool. Don't be bringing no assholes here or whatever.
Right.
Because I'm not going to put up with some dude coming in here trying to talk to me any kind of way just because he's here with you. You got to have some kind of conversation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I think he's got to, at the same time, I think he's got to be able to have the conversation of, hey, listen, so we're going to be living here together. Whoops. And, we may be drunk in the same room sometime one day and, like sharing a pint of ice cream and next thing you know, we're rubbing it on each other. Whatever. I mean, he'll figure it out, dude. He's a smart boy. Like, there's got to be a way to have that conversation of, hey, we just got to.
I would like to be a fly on the wall the first time she blows up the bathroom. He's like, what the fuck just happened in here?
Right? Yeah, it's going to be a learning experience for him. Big time. But when I was married, I tried not to go to the bathroom after my wife at the time. I didn't want to smell that shit. And I told her when we first got together, look, I don't want to go to the store and buy your pads or your fucking wings.
Oh my God, come on.
What?
You serious?
Yeah. That's your shit. I'm good.
You would have a problem.
If there was a case of emergency and I needed to go for you, I would. But every month, every time when it's coming, like it comes the same time every month.
So you would be understanding if she says, "Look, then I don't want to pick up your hemorrhoid medication."
Yeah,
what's the big deal?
Because I don't want her to know I have them anyways. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, I get it.
Well, she gonna know you got them because you walking around funny, and you get slow to sit down and slow to get up.
Okay, but that doesn't mean I want to. Not like I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm never gonna hand her the tube and be like, hey, rub some in there for me. No. Same shit. Like I'm gonna know she's gonna have the string hanging out every once in a while. It's not like Not like I'm gonna pull it. There's a snake in my boot. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that, but you're a grown man. I mean, you could go to the grocery shopping and then
It's not about that. I don't want to go grocery shopping for, but there's certain things that, just like, okay, when your kids were born,
okay,
did you look?
Look at what?
What the fuck do you think I'm talking about? When your kids were born, did you look?
Oh, when they were born.
Yes.
No.
Why?
I don't think so. Because I was concentrated on my bride.
Bullshit, doctor. Because the doctor would have said, "Hey, you want to take a look? Is there crowning?"
I'll tell you what. I don't think. For starters, both my kids were what's the word?
C-section?
No.
Premature.
Yeah. So there's a lot of precautions in regards to the deliveries. So I don't think that it was one of those normal deliveries where everything was going good and they were like, "You want to take a peek?" Because I think they had extra people there that would have to get to work if something went wrong, if that makes sense.
Got you.
So I don't think they actually gave me the option to look.
Would you have looked?
Probably not, and not because of what's being ruined, if you will, or stretched out to the max, but just because
stretched out to the max. You better pick up some flowers on the way home because you fucked up.
But just because I'll probably pass out just because of like what's going on. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
When you were in the room and even though it was being done and it was extra precaution, was it like an out-of-body experience at the time? Were you like watching yourself watch your wife? Watch the doctors?
No, but I don't think I don't necessarily think it was like real to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was just, of course you knew there was a baby in her belly, but because it actually wasn't here, he or she wasn't actually here, it was like,
Yeah, like you go to the hospital, you and your wife, and then you come home, and now there's 3 of you. What do we do now? Yeah, it's kind of weird, right?
I do remember the first time bringing my daughter home. Like, you got to get the car seat right.
Oh, yeah.
They make sure all that shit is being done right. You're nervous. You don't want to be driving. You don't want to hit the brakes too hard because your old lady's, like, fragile. She's riding in the back with the kid.
Wearing them big old fishnet underwear. Trying to keep all that gushy together.
I don't really remember bringing my son home because he was in the hospital for a while.
Really?
Because he was really premature.
Okay. Interesting.
But back to being an adult, a married man, a family man, you should be able to pick up products.
Well, again, it's not that I don't want to pick them up. It's just that, I'd like to keep my old lady like on a pedestal and like I don't want to think about you shitting. I don't want to think about you fart. I don't want to know when you have diarrhea. You know what I mean? You're a woman. You should look good. You should smell good.
Yeah, you're 100% right. However, reality at one point has to set in.
Yeah, that's a motherfucker. I know. And the fucked up part about it is it's like if you were to send your old lady and tell her, "Hey, I need you to go and find a bottle of 1030 oil, full synthetic."
Yes, I totally agree with you on that. I would have issues, which I have had in the past, and her too. I asked her to go to Home Depot for something. It's like you're in a totally different world where there's 100 of these products and they all look alike, and even the brand that she wants, they still got another 20 items.
But here's the difference between what I just said about the oil and having to go pick up plugs. If you had to go pick up, like, okay, So unless you just fuck it, I don't want to get too descriptive for you. Just get the variety pack. Cool, I could do that. Because you have the ones for light days, and then you have you know heavy days. So you know it all depends on what kind of creek she got going. Is it massive flooding? Do we have like? Is it like a small creek? Like, what do you got going on? You know what I mean? I don't want to look, baby. I need you to go and pick up some heavy flow, super absorbent, anti-stank. Like, wait, what? So instead of having like like a candle wick rope, it's got like a full on.
I don't even think they use those anymore.
What?
The ones you insert. It's more like a pad now. And it's been like that for a while.
You're fucking tripping.
You're tripping. Girls don't really use those anymore. They use pads now.
I think it was the other way around. Back in the day when your mom was young, they didn't use the other ones. They used the pads all the time. And then they have pads, and then they have panty liners. So they could use the panty liners and the plugs at the same time, just in case it gets past the plug and it drips. It's not going to drip on their underwear. It's going to drip on their...
All right, this will be another question I have to ask my old lady. What's more popular these days? Because I could almost swear my old lady used to always use pads.
That's a Mexican thing, dude. That's a big time Chicana thing.
Okay, well, I mean,
my mom was white, but that was all that was ever at the house were fucking pads.
You're proving my point. Pads.
Back in the day, but my wife never had, or my wife at the time never had.
Matter of fact, you
pads.
got sisters. Boom. You can find out for us too.
No, I'm not calling them. I don't want to know. I
ask her what kind of sanitary supply she uses.
Nope.
Did I ever tell you about the time when I first moved to California and the first group of friends, we're talking third grade. One day we had minimum day, so we went to this one dude's house to hang out.
Okay.
And we were just bored out of our minds. So he lived in an apartment complex to where the backyard, there was no backyard in a sense. It was like more of a two-person alleyway that just went around the house like a square.
Right.
Like everybody, you walk out, everybody could walk out. It was cement too. It was just, like a walkway.
Okay.
So we got into his sister's tampons. And so what we would do is we'd wet them with the water hose and throw them up on the roof, on the ceiling, because it was like a covered patio. And see who could watch them stick with the strings hanging down.
Fuck.
We just go, shh, and it makes that sound, that slapping sound when it hits.
Oh, how much trouble did you guys get in?
We were gone before his parents got home, so I don't know.
Wow.
That was my introduction to those things.
Yeah, those things are still being used.
Okay.
Those things won't go away.
I'm not saying they won't go away, but I just think with technology, the absorbency that a pad can do, I think they just prefer to use those.
Really?
I would think.
Why? Because a pad, you're waiting for the blood to come out. With the tampon.
I would think the pad is in the long run more sanitary. Because when you pull the other one out, I mean, it's like, whoa.
And when you pull the other one out, depending on, what your hoo-ha's like, does it, like, I would be like, okay, so if you put one in, does it wring it out?
Wring it out?
Yeah, like when have you ever painted with a roller before? You got too much paint on the roller and you're trying to take it off, and shit oozes out. So, like, if your hoo-ha's tight, you pull it on the string.
You're nasty.
Why is that nasty? It's a legit question. I don't have a hoo-ha. I have to rely on the listeners.
Again, you got sisters.
No, I'm not. I don't.
Old enough nieces.
No, hell no.
It's a conversation.
Yeah, I'm cool. I don't want anybody that's in my like immediate life and anybody that I'm gonna maybe be involved with. I don't want to know.
Again, reality at some point, Mingo's gonna have to set in. I know you want Cinderella to come walking through this door, and her always look like that, like a Barbie doll, never changes, and that. But hey, in the real world.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You in for a rude awakening.
As the longer I can keep it at bay, the better. So at some point I might have to deal with it, but if I can keep it at bay as long as I can, that'd be cool. You know what I'm saying?
So you mean to tell me when you were married, your lady never blew it up the bathroom?
I don't know. I never went in after her. Or I'd use the other bathroom.
What if you only had one bathroom? You never lived in a spot that only had one bathroom?
I tried my best not to go in after her.
Sounds?
I wouldn't.
You can't hear something that sounds like an anchor being dropped in the ocean?
I'd always turn up the TV. I don't want to hear the bloop bloops. I'm cool. We cool.
Speaking of kids, okay, or deliveries.
Okay.
How is a child supposed to come out of a woman?
At first.
Okay, thank you. Now, I'm not, don't get me wrong, when I say thank you, it's not like I'm, fully educated on all this. What is a breached kid?
Foot first.
Okay. An unborn that's breached, from what I understand, they're supposed to still try to turn it to come out head first. And if it can't be done, that's what the purpose of a C-section is.
It can be, yes.
Okay. So children are still born feet first?
From what I understand, they try to turn them, and if they can't, they try to get them butt first.
Okay.
So they basically fold the baby in half and take them out.
Okay.
Because what happens is, I guess the head clears the way. So like if they're taking a baby out, it clears the head and wipe the shit away from their face so they can breathe. And then they have to pop out one shoulder at a time, so that they don't split mom in half.
Okay.
So then once the shoulders pass, the baby slides right out.
Okay.
So if it's the other way around, if they go ass first, it's a little bit harder. Plus, you don't really have anywhere to get them from. Like it's a different process pulling them out. Like my Sebastian, they used I don't even know what the fuck they're called. We call them salad tongs, where they put this like clamps inside to grab the head to help pull them out.
Wow.
To help guide the head out. But there was a lot of times where kids, because their brain and all their bones are soft still, so they could, they're malleable, so that they could pull them out safely and not do any damage. But that freaked me out. Like I didn't want to see that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like who wants to see their kids being taken out with a fucking salad tongs? Like that's fucking crazy.
Now, the reason I'm saying this is because there's a news story that a woman goes in for delivery, the kid was breached. Right?
Okay.
Doctor tried to turn the kid wouldn't turn. Supposed to be at some point they say should do a C-section.
Okay.
Okay? From what I understand, the doctor says, I think I can do it feet first. decapitated the kid.
How the fuck did he decapitate the kid?
Pulled it out by the feet. The head got pulled off in her.
That sounds fucking weird. Holy shit.
Now, could you imagine 9 months and you go to give birth and from what I understand, they try to keep it from them as far as what actually happened. And then I guess they try to smudge the records type deal. And then they sued the hospital, and it happened in Georgia. A baby's decapitation during labor is ruled a homicide by the medical examiner. The obstetrician used ridiculously aggressive force while trying to remove the baby, resulting in decapitation and death.
Wow.
Happened end of last year.
So that must mean that like the baby's body was probably like bruised where he was grabbing it and tugging on it to get it out.
Or, I mean, to have that actually happen, they got to say you were doing it ridiculously aggressive, trying to pull on it.
Yeah, I mean, how do you pull somebody's? That's pulling somebody's head off with your hands. That's crazy. I mean, that giving birth is already like, fuck. Like, ladies, how the fuck do you do that? Like, I can't take a shit without lobbing it off. Like, how do you, you know what I mean? How do you get a whole baby out of your body without pinching it off? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got a point.
That's crazy. Like, but the body's amazing. Like, the body knows. And the body's amazing. Like, the things that it does. You know what I mean? Like,
well, most definitely. I mean, when you think about when you break a bone, and it can heal and go back together. That's amazing.
Well, before they figured out that bones could go back together, they just fucking lob your arm off. No, you broke it. Well, now you always got a shoulder on this side. But like the woman's body, like how crazy is it that it carries a baby, and then right before the baby's born, it knows to position the baby so that the head's down.
The baby's head isn't always down?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's usually like sideways.
What do you mean sideways?
Head, feet across the stomach.
Oh, horizontal.
Yeah. Sideways. Because if this was, then that would be sideways. See what I'm saying? Holy shit. So it would be, I mean, like, it's just amazing. Just like when,
hold on a second, time out. Sideways can mean like side. Like I'm looking at you, I'm turning my head to my left, and I'm looking at you like over my shoulder. That's sideways. So when you're talking about a kid in the stomach sideways, you can't sit there and tell me it's like in a cradle position. That's not sideways.
If it's top to bottom,
okay,
is a normal position. Sideways would mean left to right.
I don't know about that.
Okay, Tony. That's cool. It's all right. I understand.
No,
my description was vague.
You're looking at me like I'm crazy. I don't know what sideways is with a kid in a womb, and I'm thinking to myself, hold on, no. And you could have said in the fetal position, cradled, left to right, not up and down.
You're right. I could have. You're right. I'll do better to give you better descriptions in the future. My bad.
You watch. So my apologies. Please continue.
But it's like even even like the bumps around the on the areola on the nipple, and the nipples get darker on a chick when she has a baby and she's lactating, so that the baby knows, or like it rubs its face on the nipple, and all right, there are the bumps. All right, here we go. And sometimes the kid's a little dumb, and you got to teach it how to latch on. They don't all know how to do that. But then they latch on. They feel like, how amazing is it? Like her body creates nutrients for the kids out of what she eats.
Right.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all we do is create the milk to bake the baby, right? Like, here, add this to the eggs you have and make us an omelet. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I have a cousin who, at one point in time, he was into fitness.
Okay.
And I'm not saying he's not anymore. He's back east, so I don't have that much contact with him. But during this time when he was very into fitness, we were talking about some stuff, and the subject of milk got brought up, and he doesn't drink milk.
Right.
And I was like, dude, you're crazy. Milk is great with cookies and stuff. And he's like, dude, you're not supposed to drink milk.
Right.
Once you're no longer an infant, you shouldn't be drinking milk anymore. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Isn't milk supposed to be good? Milk does a body good. Isn't that what we've been taught? He was like, he goes into the whole, that's what they want you to think, all that stuff. But what he said, what made sense, he said, we're the only mammal that once we get older, we continue to drink milk.
Right.
He says, you don't see cubs or puppies or cats or whatever. Once they're old enough, they don't drink milk anymore. It's done. And that always stuck with me.
Yeah. Very true.
But if you have a cat at home, like we were discussing earlier about, the difference between cats and lions, cats drink milk. You leave a little bowl of milk out for a cat.
Well, if the cat's fucking thirsty and you only put out milk, the fuck's it gonna drink? Right? I mean, like...
You got a point, yeah.
But it's just... It's amazing how our bodies function, and it knows what it should do, when it should do it. And how to fix itself, really. Like, if we were doing all the right things in our body and eating the right ways, our body would be able to fix itself. It has all the right nourishment, and it would be able to fix itself. Just saying. I'm going to throw that out there. Healthy living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
here we go.
when there was eating right back in the day, they didn't live to how long we live now.
But were they eating right?
When you say they were, I mean, there wasn't there were like sugars and sodas and candies, and
I think there was still sugar. They were using a lot of milk still. They weren't sanitary. I mean, they would just, those cities where they would just shit in buckets and throw it out in the streets. It's not like they didn't have shit plants and, running water or anything like that. So we really weren't all that, our ancestors really weren't all that sanitary in Western days.
Okay. So I guess we gave, by bringing in more sanitary conditions, unfortunately we also brought in shit we shouldn't be eating to even it out.
Yeah, because, well, it gave the government a way to feed us, vitamins that they thought we should have, or, things that they thought, because that's probably what your cousin was telling you about milk, about, when kids started going to school and they needed, free food, that they would give them milk because it was cheaper to package than water back then. and that they had so much milk in excess that they had to pour out millions of gallons of it at some point. So Milky does a body good because they used that. I don't remember what it was that they used it for something for a long time, and then and then when the war was over, they stopped needing it, and all these farmers had already spent all this money on equipment to pasteurize milk and do all that. So the government was like, well, what are we supposed to fucking do now? Like we changed all of our shit to help you out because you said this is what you needed. And what are we going to do with all this machinery now? So then they said, okay, well, then they created the campaign of, Milky does a body good, and started telling you that you really needed milk. And that's why it's such a staple for us to drink it and have it now.
But don't you think milk and cookies just go great together?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's undeniable. There's certain things that are like chocolate cake and milk with an ice cold glass of milk.
Yes.
There's nothing like it, but...
I mean, you can't do that with water.
You can. It's just not the same.
No, it's not the same at all.
But at the same time, you got to know that comes from a 2,000-pound animal that's supposed to be creating that for its infant, which you are not an infant of a cow, nor are you going to be a 2,000-pound animal at any point. So if that's made for the nourishment of a 2,000-pound animal and you're not that, why are you taking it?
Just tastes too good. Especially when you add chocolate to it.
I like strawberry milk. Strawberry milk, delicious.
Really?
Yeah. Delicious.
Hershey's used to have, how you get chocolate milk from the store?
Yeah.
Hershey's used to make one was called milkshake. And bro, let me tell you.
What was the difference?
I don't know what the difference was, but it literally did taste like a chocolate milkshake. It tasted like a very liquefied milkshake instead of being thick.
I wonder if they added like malt.
I don't think so. Malt has we
like
grew
those
up on
Whoppers.
chocolate malts. Yeah, I don't think it had that.
No?
No. But whatever it was, bro, let me tell you. It was like crack cocaine, kid. I'm telling you.
That bad, huh?
No, dude, when I would drink it, it's almost like I could literally feel it going through my body.
God damn.
Yeah. That was some good stuff right there. It was called chocolate milkshake, I think. Oh, it was so... Oh, my God. Can never find it anymore.
When I was like... when I was working in Coachella, the people that I work with, oh man, I remember growing up, we'd have chocolate meal all the time. And I was like, say that again? Oh yeah, we'd have chocolate meal all the time. And then they would show me the container that it came in, and it would say choco meal.
Really?
And I was like, do you know that it's just trying to say chocolate milk, right? Oh, shit. You're right. Just like we grew up and, let me get have you ever gone to a Mexican restaurant and it tells you beef stick with whatever, and they spell it different, but it's just beef steak with whatever ingredients they put on it?
I've never paid any attention to that.
Pay attention to it. Watch. You'll see beef steak. S-T-E-K. And you're like, beef steak. Like you think it's what kind of meat is it? What cut is that? What do you mean what cut is that? It's just beef steak, dude. Like it's a skirt steak, fool. Yeah, it's a trip, dude. It is a trip. So Sunday night, dude.
This past Sunday?
Yeah. And we'll get to Saturday here in a minute, but Sunday night, was the first episode of, and I'm a special shout out to our buddy Maurice, by the way, because he loves when I do these. The Walking Dead.
Oh, here we go.
They started their new show called The Ones Who Survived, and it's about Rick and Michonne. And I got to tell you, I know that we talked about, the what was it, Negan and what's her name? And then it was the Daryl one.
Okay.
But I got to tell you, bro, this one, the first fucking episode, fucking fire. Right out the bat. Just fucking fire. Within like the first 8 minutes, bro, you're like, holy shit, no he didn't. It's fucking fire, bro. Really, really good. You should check it out. We saw it on AMC Plus. I'm sure you can see it on AMC. It's at 9 o'clock on Sundays. It goes back far enough to show you what happened to Rick, where he's at now, and what's been going on.
In this first episode, it did all that.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, dude, the first fucking 8 to 10 minutes is fucking fire on this show. Fuck, it's good, dude. I was like, holy shit. Like, we were sitting there, me and Sebastian were sitting there watching it, and this certain part, and they did it, I was like, oh, fuck, dude, this is going to be good. Yeah, yeah. They kicked off this show the way the other two should have started off. Like, just like, we talk about, like, on that movie with Jamie Foxx and, what's his name? Anyways, Law-Abiding Citizen.
Oh, uh-huh.
Where he, first couple of minutes, and he opens the door and gets hit with a shovel or a bat.
Right.
And I'm in. But you start off a fucking movie like that, dude opens the door, gets cracked with a bat, I'm in. Right? That's how this episode was. Like, first couple of minutes, bro, and it's on and popping. And you're just like, holy shit. It's gonna be real good, and it's gonna answer a lot of questions for you.
People had questions? Like, other than where did they go?
Yeah, I think it fills in the gaps really nice. Of gaps of time. Like, from where he left to the point where they bring you into the show. Like, does that make sense? I can't say too much. I don't want to give it all away.
It's okay. You can give it away.
Fuck that. So the end of the, like, where
let me ask you this.
Lost at the bridge.
Go ahead.
At the bridge to where he's at now, and then they backfill that time. And then once they backfill that time and he starts here, it's a fucking even backfill, it's a full ride, bro. I'm telling you.
So when he left the show, or when his last episode,
yeah,
was it one of those things that you knew he was not coming back for some reason? I mean, was it like literally like he was like, I'm leaving, I'm going on a different path, and I'm out? Because I don't know when he left, or did the show just start and he just wasn't no longer there, and they said, oh, Rick took off on us, and we don't know where he's at.
I think that was a season, 1 or 2 seasons without Rick. He knew that these were coming, and he wanted to take, because he would spend all these years here filming, and his family was back in London.
I mean, in the show itself, how was it that he left the show, left the group, if you will? Did he say, I'm going this way, you guys want to go that way?
No.
Did they wake up one morning and he was gone, and they're like, where's Rick?
They didn't wake up. It was an explosion on a bridge where he was trying to save people, and with the explosion, they weren't able to find his body.
Okay.
and his body had floated downriver. And this lady found him.
Okay.
And then we'll leave it at that. But it's the way they kicked off this series was an excellent way to kick it off. And if you were on the fence, like I think the last two shows or spinoffs that they tried were whack, and they knew they had to come with it to make this one stick, and they fucking came with it. They set it up real nice, real good. And I'm gonna say, for those of you that haven't seen it, try out the Avatar, The Last Airbender on Netflix. It's a series. They're doing the first series or the first season. The only person that really didn't fit the character the way that was on the cartoon was Azula, which is his sister, Zuko's sister. Give it a minute. It's not. They did take some liberties to change the storyline just a little bit, but I think that it fits. And what they've done with that series is so good, and blows whatever M. Night Shyamalan Ling Dong Dong did. It's so much better. Watch it and enjoy it for what it is. Feel free to call us and let us know, or if you know Tony or I, you see us somewhere, feel free to come tell us about it.
Not Tony or I, just you.
Yeah, tell Tony all about it.
If you tell me, I'm going to sit there and say, why are you telling me this? Why are you even watching that?
Because he needs to watch it. Tony needs to see it. You know what I mean? You need to try it out, Tony. I'm telling you. You need to try it out.
I mean, there's like a 1% chance I'd watch this Walking Dead one-off. But there's like 0% chance that I'm watching this Airbender.
Okay.
Don't get your feelings hurt, kid. I'm sorry.
I'm not hurt. That's your loss, not mine. You go back and watch your fucking movies about, what is it, the deaf girl and her family? That's cool. Shit.
Oh, I finished that HBO True Detective.
How was it? I haven't finished. I haven't gone back.
You haven't finished it?
No.
Oh, dude. Everything I was complaining about, it was neatly wrapped up. I'm happy that I watched it. I'm happy I struggled through it, because it all made sense. It all brought it together in the end, and I'm pleased with the outcome.
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
Very pleased with it. Didn't see the ending coming. I was afraid it was going to be, like I mentioned, supernatural spirit world stuff, and I'm pleased the way it turned out. It answered the question.
So what was it?
You want me to ruin it for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
You sure?
Sure.
Where did you leave off? Were they looking for anybody?
Yeah, they had gone into a little town, and they actually went into his room, and the dude was sitting there and told him, "Nah, y'all motherfuckers need to leave."
Okay. They just went looking for him because he knew another guy they were looking for.
Okay.
Okay. Should we do the rundown on the whole show?
Sure, why not?
2 minutes. Scientists in Alaska were doing something, testing pollutants in a mining camp.
Now, if you don't know anything about Alaska, there's a period in time every year that there's 30 days of nighttime, 24 hours a day, no sunlight for 30 days, right?
Right.
And it just so happens this story is based in those 30 days. And it's out on the frozen tundra, just out in the middle of nowhere.
And that's a trip because, like, 9 o'clock in the morning, it seems like it's 1 o'clock in the morning out there. That's a trip. I don't know how they live.
If it wasn't for that, I'd probably, like, I don't think I could live in an area like that.
It's absolutely crazy.
Like, it was dark all the time.
All the time. Yeah. And so dark to where when you're driving, you can't see 10 feet in front of you. I felt like, the car scenes. I felt like I was in my homie Luis's van. I couldn't see, like...
Oh, shit. Wow.
Well, the scientists, they all died. They all got frozen. They all died. They were missing, excuse me. They were missing. Sheriff goes up there to see what's going on. They found all these scientists frozen, butt naked, together in the middle of nowhere. And then they found their clothes all neatly folded, shoes on top of their clothing, away from them. One guy survived. One guy was missing out of all the scientists. So the whole movie was, or the whole show was them trying to find that dude.
Okay.
Because they think he did something. They think he was the reason why they all died.
Okay.
Right before they all died, crazy shit was going on where their facility was. Lights were going out. Electricity was acting weird. And the one dude that they think did all this, he was like, she's awake. So that's why I'm like, this is some spirit shit. He was like scared. He was like, they woke her up. She's awake. She's coming after us.
Okay.
All right. They're trying to find this dude. Storyline after storyline in between. They finally find the dude. And they're like, what happened? So the dude was like, it turns out they murdered a woman in the facility because she found out what they were really doing. And it was actually his girlfriend. So he was bummed out about it. He felt that her spirit came after all of them when all this electricity shit was going on, power outages.
Oh, gosh.
And he was just like, she's awake. Like, they brought her spirit back. That's why I was like, this is some bullshit. And I don't want this, I was like, no, I can't believe I'm watching this. So he ran away he went and hid, for lack of a better description of what happened. He went and hid, and they all disappeared when he came back out. They were gone. So, turns out what had happened was, because they're all Eskimos up there, the indigenous people.
Right.
Turns out that the friends of this woman found out that they had killed her. So what they did was there was like 20 of them, chicks with guns, like rifles and stuff. They went to the facility, and on the outside, they started turning the power off. And then, they went inside, gathered them all up with their guns, and that dude ran away because he thought it was a spirit coming after them because they didn't know. And the women brought him outside in the freezing cold, told him to strip naked and to start walking. And they started walking. And they folded their clothes, left them, because they were like, if they make it back, they can survive and they can get their clothes back. We're doing this for her. But they didn't because it was so cold, they all froze to death. And I was like, at least there's an ending. At least we know what happened.
It's like a Scooby-Doo mystery.
Oh, my goodness. The ending was great. I was like, oh, shit, cool. Because I don't know if you ever watched Lost.
Yes.
Dude, I got hooked on Lost as the rest of America. And when they just ended it with no
answers?
Oh, my God, bro.
In the submarine, right?
There was submarines. There was polar bears.
There was black smoke.
Dude, black smoke. Oh, bro.
I think I was good until they brought in the black smoke. I was like...
It was good all the way through if they would have answered what the black smoke was, what's up with this polar bear. Lost was... Dude, that goes down in history as like craziness. Yeah. What they did to us.
Fucking lost our time is what happened.
But True Detective. Watch it. That was good.
Oh, good. I'm glad I got you to try that out. Or go back and try it out or whatever the fuck I did. Something like that.
That was great.
So Saturday, Tony and I went to go see a buddy of ours. Where did we go? Ontario?
Ontario.
And he took us to this place, Top Golf, is that what it's called?
Top Golf.
And I didn't know you were that competitive, bro.
Competitive?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm competitive.
Huh?
I'm not competitive.
You're not?
No.
Because after Mo went and did his 5, you'd look up and then, goddamn, all right, and you were trying to rake up some numbers.
I think I was just upset with myself most of the time because, when you don't hit a good shot, you're like, damn. I mean, I wasn't necessarily playing to win. I just wanted to be in,
You just didn't want me to beat you.
Well, there was no problem with
that. Yeah, that was never gonna happen, bro. I'm not a golfer by any sense of the word. It was kind of cool hanging out though.
Yeah, it was.
And it had a good time there at the range. We played a couple rounds. And then we stopped at Famous Dave's on the way back in Redlands. And you'd never been to a Famous Dave's, you said.
No.
What'd you think of it?
It was good. It
was good, right? Yeah. And what'd you have?
I had chicken and ribs.
Chicken and ribs. I had
cornbread.
Brisket and a hot link. And beans and corn on the cob. Delicious. Boy, I had been craving barbecue like that in a minute. Like there's Dave's out here, right? So wait.
No, that's
that's
spot.
Dick's up here in Palm Springs.
Dick, yeah, that's not good.
That's not very tasty. And then Babe's, right?
Babe's is all right.
It's all right, but I think Babe's is overpriced because of its, you know what I mean, like a real sit down. And I don't even know how you do like a fancy barbecue experience. Like to me, that's as contradictory as saying, "Hey, we're going to a really fancy Mexican restaurant." You know what I'm saying? Hey, we're going to a real fancy barbecue restaurant. What? Like it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How the fuck you gonna serve chips and salsa and have an expensive ass menu? You know what I mean? How I'm gonna have to wear a bib so I don't get barbecue sauce on me?
The first question I have, is how's Manu gonna take this when he hears this?
I don't know. You did all the inviting. I'm just gonna be like, hey, I don't know, fucking.
What are you talking about? You drove. I don't know what's going on. I mean, you took me over there.
I drove because you said, hey, Saturday, I'm gonna go see Mo. You want to go? I was like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm down. I said, are you gonna pick me up, or you want me to drive to your house? You said, come to my house, and then I came out to your house, and you were standing outside. And you'd be like, hey, I want a drink, so you're gonna drive, and I was like, okay, cool. So I drove. I chaperoned. I was your designated driver for the day.
When we got back, I actually thought about that. I was like, I mean, he lives 4 hours away. I mean, it's not like, but he's the type of motherfucker that probably come out anyways.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would.
But second part is, I'll be totally honest with you when I say I think I had personally a better time at the Top Golf bar where we went after playing that 2-hour round of just sitting there being able to talk.
Oh, just being able to bullshit without
somebody having to get up and go shoot their balls. Because it was almost like we kept having to cut conversations off because it would be you and I while he was shooting.
Right.
And then you'd get up and then it was him and I. And then I'd get up and it was you two.
We should have done it backwards. We should have gone to the bar first and hung out and get a good portion of the conversation out. That way the three of us could have talked and then go, once it had died down and had, interrupted conversations.
Right.
That would have been, but it was cool though, dude.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was good to catch up.
It was, it was nice to just kind of hang out and bullshit for the day. But yeah, you definitely got to figure out how to make that up to Manny. Do they have a Top Golf in Phoenix?
Yeah, it's the first time I ever went with him.
Oh, really?
To one of those.
Maybe we need to drive out to Phoenix and go to Top Golf with Manny.
There you go.
And not invite Mo. That would work out, right? Something like that?
So
even?
Are we going to tell him what we did when we got back into town? We solved the mystery.
Oh, yeah. And here's the funny part about, okay, so about a month ago, I guess,
At least.
on the show, Tony had mentioned about going to Shakey's, which, if you don't know, that's on Caballeros in Palm Springs. And I had said something about a liquor store right in that same area that I remembered back from our days in high school and running around in that area. And he was trying to tell me how fucking crazy I was. So on our way back, I was like, hey, you got a couple minutes for a side trip? It was all, well, like, how long? I said, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe. He said, yeah, that's cool. So we come back into town. We came down Palm Canyon. We turned.
We went by Windy Point.
Yeah, went through Windy Point all the way into where, is it a 7-Eleven? Is that what that is on that corner, or Circle K?
Okay, we got to backtrack. Because then you started to describe the liquor store, saying it had a ramp.
That I didn't. You make it sound like I just described it that day. I would describe it as the day that we talked about it here.
And well, also you were also saying that the liquor store was on Caballeros.
I also said that it could be closer towards Indian. Because I said
we
okay,
could pull the tape on that because I don't remember any of that.
Well, of course you don't.
But regardless, you said it is a ramp.
And you said there is no
liquor store
anywhere near there.
Yes. Right? Yes.
Okay.
And I'm still going to prove my point when this conversation is close to the end about that. So, as we were coming back from Windy Point, coming down Palm Canyon, we passed the tram.
Correct.
Okay, and then I started to remember the area, this area. And I said, there's a liquor store coming up on the right that has a rail. And you said, and then you started asking, like, can you go into a neighborhood behind it? And I was like, well, I don't know all about that. But it is on a corner. So it's on a corner of Palm Canyon and something else. So we came up on it, and you were like, no, that's not it.
Right.
Okay. So we're still heading south on Palm Canyon, getting to Racket Club. And I said, oh, snap, there's a 7-Eleven right here. That kind of is on a corner. You could go to the neighborhood behind it because it's Racket Club in Indian and Palm Canyon.
And I remember when we were running around downtown for spring break, that we would come up on Racket Club, go up behind Palm Canyon, and drive through the neighborhood and drop out where that park area was on where it would go from you could turn left and at the park and then on to Palm Canyon. You know what I'm talking about?
There's one park that's over there.
Right.
Adjacent to that elementary school, Vista Del Monte.
No, there's no elementary school on Palm Canyon.
No, but there's on Racket Club.
No, that little park that's on. I'm talking about. Never mind.
There ain't no park on Palm Canyon.
Yeah, there is. They had like art shit there all the time.
That's downtown. Ain't nowhere near where we were at.
That's what I was talking about, where you drive through the back of the neighborhood and come out. That's what you were just talking about. And I said, yeah, we used to drive around through the back of the neighborhood above Palm Canyon.
No.
And come out. Bro. Go ahead.
So we passed that 7-Eleven. You were like, no, that's not it.
So then I turned left on Racket Club.
No. We continue south on Palm Canyon. And then I said, oh, snap. There's another liquor store right here on the corner of Palm Canyon and Vista Chino.
Okay.
And you said, no, that's not it either. That also had like a ramp that goes into it. Another liquor store. So on Palm Canyon, we passed 2 liquor stores and 1 7-Eleven. We made a left at that second liquor store, which is Vista Chino.
Okay, so then from Vista Chino, we went to Caballeros.
Correct.
And took a right.
Yes.
And then we took a right to what street? Talkowitz?
No. because we couldn't get the tacos because they had the street closed at the convention center.
Okay.
So we had to make a right at the convention center, which is a good thing because it saved us a lot of time.
Yes. So then we take and then we go up.
Excuse me, a right.
We take a right and we went up, what, 2 streets?
2 streets to the back of the Spa Casino.
And then we took a left.
Took a left, yes.
And then all of a sudden.
No, not all of a sudden.
Because we were talking and all of a sudden Tony said, hey, wait, are you talking about the liquor store that was on Alejo?
No, I did not say that.
What'd you say, Tony?
I said, I think I know the place you're talking about now. It's on the street to our right. We're heading south.
That's not what you said.
I know the spot I think I know the spot you're talking about. And I even pointed to the street. It's going to be over there.
You said it, and it's on Alejo. I said, oh, wait a minute. And then I kind of told you what, and reiterated again, what it looked like. And oh, yeah. I said, yeah, I think that's it. We drove. We drove by it, and you pointed, and I said, yeah, I think that's it. We drove, not to Palm Canyon. We drove
almost to Ramon Road. We hung a right.
Okay.
And then we came back in Salinas, and what street was that?
Encias.
Encias.
Calle Encias.
And we went back up north, and the street it's on is Arenas and Encinas. It's not Alejo, it's Arenas.
Arenas? You mean Arenas? Arenas.
You go to Palm Springs, you ask for Arenas, and they're not going to know what you're talking about. You ask for Arenas, they're going to say, oh, yeah, that street is right over there. But when we got there, I was like, is that it right there? And you were like, that's exactly what I was talking about. We found it. It's no longer a store that sells alcohol.
No, it's not.
It's a clothing store. But now here's the deal. It was never a liquor store. It was always a Circle K.
Circle K, liquor store, it's the same fucking shit.
Circle K is
convenience and liquor store. Same. Did they sell liquor there?
Quite possibly. Yeah, they did.
It's a liquor store.
No, it's a Circle K.
Yeah, it's a liquor store.
That's not a liquor store.
Why else do you go to Circle K?
They get
half the time
fountain drink,
liquor,
get candy bars,
beer, alcohol.
Yeah, but it's not a liquor store.
Yeah, sure.
A liquor store almost sells nothing but liquor.
That's all they sold.
It was a Circle K.
Right, Circle K mostly sells, unless they have a gas station. They mostly sell. They mostly sell alcohol and liquor, especially on the corner of Arenas and Encias.
Okay, now a couple of things. I'm glad we were able to figure out and solve the mystery.
Which is right next to fucking
Shakey's. It is not next to Shakey's.
And it was only like a street and a half away from it.
No, it was.
And
that's pretty much considered downtown.
And he's so full of shit. Like, I explained it, and as a matter of fact, I described it to a fucking T, because we were halfway there on Encias, and he says, that's exactly how you explained it. Yeah, no shit.
No. It's exactly how you described it.
That's exactly how you described it.
As far as the physicality of the building.
So why are you trying to tell me that I'm wrong and that I'm glad that we
You wrong because it was not a liquor store.
So right.
B, it was not near Shakey's.
A block and a half away from Shakey's.
Palm Springs.
It was, and I said that it was right there in that area before Palm Canyon.
Our listener, Raymond Magana, had a conversation with me. He says, did you guys ever figure out that liquor store? And I said, no, we didn't. And we sat there for a good 30 seconds brainstorming.
You make it sound like that's a long fucking time. 30 seconds ain't a long fucking time.
We sat there, we brought in his Aunt Annabelle and asked her, and she couldn't figure it out either.
Can't ask somebody
we were talking
named Annabelle for a
we
liquor
were talking
store?
about Shakey's. Where's there a liquor store around there? Could not figure it out. Now, had you said there's a Circle K closer to downtown,
was she like a drinker? Was she a heavy drinker?
She was a little inebriated that night.
Not that night. I'm saying, is she a drinker? Like, has she always been? Has she always been a heavy drinker?
Who said heavy?
Who's what?
Why she got to be a heavy drinker?
Well, I'm not talking about like a physical size. I'm saying, does she like to drink? Because if you don't like to drink, you might not know that liquor store
wasn't a liquor store.
Yes, it was.
It was a Circle K.
Did they sell liquor?
Yes.
That's a liquor store.
Is Stater Brothers a Circle? Is Stater Brothers a liquor store?
Section.
But it's not a liquor
it's a
store.
grocery store.
No. What's the right here on Ramon? Right here.
Circle K?
Nope. Right here on Ramon. Between Circle K and In-N-Out Burger. Franklin's. Is it Franklin's?
No.
What is that liquor store right there?
Are you talking about the little blue market?
No.
Fleury's?
Yeah. That's a liquor store. It says Fleury's Liquor. That's a liquor store.
Well, why can it be a liquor store? They don't just sell liquor there. They sell chips and drinks and cigarettes and all kinds of other stuff. Why is it just a liquor store? The same reason why that Circle K isn't just a liquor store.
No.
Or the same reason it is a liquor store.
No. See, that's where
that's where you wrong.
No, you wrong.
Because you want to fight from one position, and it's exactly what's going on this one, and then you be like, I don't know.
And listeners, this is exactly what we dealt with in high school with this guy.
Yeah. This dude always thought he was up one, and he was on a whole different channel.
This is the type of guy that in high school, we'd go to Burger King, he'd ask for a pizza. Well, you serve food here. Isn't it a restaurant? Why can't I get a pizza?
And back in the day, they did have pizza. Just to let you know.
Burger King ain't never had no pizza.
Yeah, they did. Bro, are you serious?
Burger King had pizza.
Yeah.
Stop.
Look it up. Early 80s.
This is almost like you messing with Beyonce back in the day. This is a non-starter story.
They didn't sell pizza back then.
What'd you say?
Huh? I didn't say nothing.
You got me looking it up.
Nah, they didn't sell pizza. No, they didn't. I was just bullshit.
Snap. The truth about Burger King's Pizza Burger.
See, I told you.
Burger King's Pizza Burger whopped a whopping yes. Oh, they're talking about calories. Oh, snap. Combination of Whopper patties, mozzarella marinara, and a special nut-free pesto flavored mayo. Wow.
Try to tell me shit. I know. That's fucking
real quick.
Yeah.
My wife says she thinks she had Pidgeon. I texted her.
Really?
Yes. She's hood. She's more gangster than you. And y'all grew up together.
I don't know if having Pidgeon is what makes you gangster, but it's definitely different, my friend. Do you have any birthday shout-outs or anything coming up this month?
First and foremost, yes. I would like to shout out my son. Yesterday, a package got delivered to my home. On my birthday, I was able to open up cards.
Right.
And he had mailed me a card that arrived in time with a gift, maybe a couple of gift cards in it, which I really appreciate. It had a beautiful card in it. However, yesterday a package was delivered to my door, UPS. Shout out to Ivan. And it was my Enemans chocolate cake. He sent me a cake.
Nice.
So that really touched me. I appreciate that, son. Thank you. Got me a chocolate cake. I'm going to go hit it tonight.
Very nice.
And other than that, nephew, tomorrow, we recently got close, him and I. So it's his birthday, 43.
Why you make that face?
What face?
Like.
No, I was winking at you.
Oh.
Like wink, wink. We just recently got close because he got upset.
Oh, because you guys used to talk about that all the time. Yeah, okay.
So you just blew it.
What'd you say?
You just blew it.
Oh.
Happy birthday, nephew. 43 tomorrow.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Wonder if he's doing anything.
He's probably watching The Walking Dead. I called him about it. I texted him that night. Told hey, it's on tonight, dude. Oh, I'm about to check it out. So let's see if he actually got a chance to watch it or not. So just him? That's it? Nobody else in March?
That's it for this week. No, it's February, kid.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, February, yeah. It's almost March. Something like that. All right, cool deal. Hey, well, everybody, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. Love you. We'll talk to you guys soon.